Hello everyone and welcome to the Rift. Today I want to talk about a tournament I hosted. That's right, every Saturday I host tournaments. If you want to play, there's a sign up link in the description. And if you want to learn how to use Tabletop Simulator, which is the simulator we use to play the game, I've got a video on my channel explaining how you can use it. Alright, another day, another tournament, and another Victor win, baby! Let's go. Victor best deck. Not really, but I can have hope, okay? Anyway, this week we had a bunch of Kaisa. That's really not surprising. A bunch of Yi. He's alright. He's doing pretty well. Very popular deck, but not actually doing that great overall, despite his popularity. He's still pretty good, but he struggles against Ari and Darius and Set, according to win rates, so, and Teemo as well, but that matchup's not as popular. Next we've got Set. He's still doing fine. Ari is doing pretty well also. Her win rate sucks, but she's been getting a lot of top cut spots. Victor won again, but he isn't really represented that much in the meta or in top cuts. Misfortune is struggling. Teemo is not doing great, but he's not that bad. Annie is still meh. Jinx is still meh. Darius did really well this tournament. Despite only 3 people playing him, he got a top cut spot. Holy Bear really isn't doing anything anymore. Leona is just not doing well. She's really struggling. Same with Yasuo and Lux. No one's really playing them and they're just not really doing anything. And nobody played Yeren. That's not really a surprise. Next we've got win rates. This is what the raw data looks like for games. And here it is compiled into a nice, easy to see tier list. Set's win rate went down slightly. Teemo's went down slightly as well. And some shifting around in the lower brackets. Victor's getting up to almost having a positive win rate, and Volibear dropped down an entire tier. So not much movement, but some slight changes. This is win rate for individual games, so if we compare it to win rate for matches, it looks a little bit different. Set is alone by himself, all the way at the top, closely followed by Kaisa, and then we've got a handful of decks floating around neutral win rates, and then a bunch of stuff at the bottom. Yeah, Set and Kaisa sitting at the top is not really that surprising at this point. Until we figure something out in the meta, I think these are just the best decks. Some of the stuff under it I think has potential, and a lot of decks can still do really well this format. It's not like Set and Kaisa are just the only viable decks. That's far from the truth. I definitely think Darius, Victor, Ari, and Master Yi, as well as maybe a couple other decks, are going to be really good. We've seen Annie do stuff, and I think Teemo still has potential. Getting into top cut, 2 Kaisas, 2 Aris, Victor, Darius, Master Yi, and Set. Nothing really surprising here. I think all these decks are good. We've seen these decks do well before, so they're just continuing to do well again. Looking at deck lists, we've got Victor at first place, winner of the tournament. I did an interview with the winner on stream, so you can go watch that if you want. This is kind of more of a mid-range list. It's like in between go wide aggro and a heavier control build of Victor. The Retreat and the Convergent Mutation are kind of spicy techs. Retreat is really good against Kaisa. Convergent Mutation can catch people off guard and is really good sometimes. Other than that, yeah, I think this is just a solid mid-range list. All the cards in here make sense. All of your top end being 2-ofs makes sense as well. You don't really want to draw multiples of those cards, and they all have matchups where they're a little bit better or a little bit worse. And running only 6 2-drop units in Victor is probably fine because you have your legend effect. The Forge in the sideboard is interesting. I don't really think it accomplishes that much this format. We don't see a lot of Phoenix. We don't see a lot of Jinx. I'd rather just play more copies of 2-drops or maybe some blue Ari to help against aggro matchups. This deck does tend to struggle against those still. According to Winrate Data, at least you have bad matchups against Annie, Darius, Jinx, and some more cards to help you contend with their big boards in the early game could help. You also have bad matchups into Yi and Teemo, but those are covered more so by the Falling Comets and the Rexes. You should probably take out the Salvagers and play more cards to help with those matchups. Maybe this is enough, but I really like 3 Falling Comet. I think that card's quite good. And maybe a 3rd Singularity as well would be nice. Second place, we've got a Hook Darius list, and yeah, it's just a casino deck built around Hook. Not my type of deck. I usually like to play consistent decks, but I can see why this is both strong and also fun to play. People like casino decks, but they're not my cup of tea. Third place, we've got Yi. This seems to be a pretty standard list. I don't know if everybody's playing White Flame, but I can see why people play it in this deck. When I was testing Yi, I was playing it and it felt really good, but it may be too expensive sometimes, so I don't know. Mask of Foresight seems okay. I think I'd rather just play other cards because this does literally nothing by itself and it doesn't really provide that much benefit. But other than that, I think this list is pretty nice. I like the Rune Prison inclusions for our current format. It's really good into Kaisa's top end, like Watcher, and it's really good against Set as well. His big units are sometimes annoying to deal with. In the sideboard, this is like 8 cards for Kaisa. I don't really think that's the way to build this. You definitely don't need that many. And at least according to win rates, you struggle into Ari and Darius, as well as Set, so I think you probably need more cards for those matchups. Maybe some more Rune Prisons and Snapvines. Next is our first Kaisa in 4th place. This is a pretty standard list. I still don't like the shakedowns. I'm not playing them. I don't think they're that great. Every time I've seen them on a feature match, they just haven't really done much. Your opponent's just gonna pick whatever is most beneficial to them. I'm playing 3 Cleaves and 3 Yordles, as well as some of the Red Poro. I really think you want to play 8 2-drop units in this deck. You want to go first and play a 2-drop. Having at least 8 lets you do that consistently. And everything in the sideboard pretty much makes sense. Retreat is really good against the mirror, and more Watchers is really nice in some matchups. Acathean Rain's a blowout in others, and Vine is just really good into most things. 5th place, we've got Ari. Another pretty standard list, I think. Everything in here pretty much makes sense. I still don't like playing Windwall in this deck. I think Zhonya's is probably just better. It's a lot cheaper for mostly the same effect. Next, we've got Set in 6th place, playing one of each of the chosen champs, which is interesting. You can switch them out between games if you want. Only 2 copies of Showstopper is weird, and there's a lot of other cards in this deck that are played as 2-ofs, which I don't really think I agree with. I think Crackshot is just not a great card right now. Flurry of Blades, it's kind of the same thing. It just doesn't really do that much outside of being paired with Warwick. Yeah, I just don't know about this deck building overall. There's way too many 2-ofs for me, and some of these cards I just don't feel like are that great in Set overall, like Flurry, Crackshot, even Warwick and Karma kind of okay. Gentleman's Duel and Endeavour I don't really like either. It looks like it's trying to play a slower, more top-end focused game, which I don't really know if Set wants to do right now. It's only playing 5 2-drop units as well, which is really inconsistent to try and get one down turn 1. Yeah, it feels like it's trying to be built for a more slow format, which I don't think we're in right now. Next, we've got 7th place, Ari, our second one. This is pretty standard outside of the Dr. Mundo and the Blue Seals to ramp into him more consistently. I can see him being good in certain matchups, but I think he's a little too situational and a little too slow most of the time. Sometimes he costs the same amount as an accelerated Watcher, and that gets to act immediately no matter what. If you're in a losing position, I don't think Mundo is ever really going to help you with anything. Just playing him down in base and waiting a turn doesn't feel great. Yeah, I can see the theory, I'm just not really sold on his inclusion. I think it might just be better to play 3 copies of Watcher if you want to go for a more top-end heavy build of Ari. I'm not sure though, I'd have to test him a lot more. He just seems a little too slow and situational to me. Watcher's just such a crazy card, it's so good. And finally, we've got Kaisa, our second one, and I'm pretty sure it's the exact same list that we already went over. Alright, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe to stay up to date, and I've got a lot of neat videos planned, so make sure you don't miss them in the future. Alright, that's all I have to say today. Take care.